All right, so our next and last presenter, these three gentlemen boarded a bus in Berlin several days ago. They didn't know one another. By the time they arrived in Paris, they had started a company. They are our 17th and final presenter of the startup competition. Please welcome Haystack.
Hello, everybody. So, yes, we're Haystack, and we just spent 96 hours on a bus. We started Friday. We didn't know each other before that, and we rode to Paris. We took a strange route. So we went up to Hamburg first, because that's the directest way. Then we went down to Cologne, and along the way we built the company. And what we want to show now is what's possible when 4 people come together, single mind, and work really intensely on something. And I think this is also the moment for a shout out to all the other teams that were there, because the quality of things that happened was just incredible. So this brings me to Haystack, and I have a question for you. No last presentation, but you don't have to do a lot. Tell me, who of you has not been on an online date? The jury completely. So this is exactly it. Online dating is creepy. People don't go on online dates. And that is why we at Haystack want to turn your friends into matchmakers. Dating, it's an eternal problem that affects everybody. And currently, when you go on a dating platform, this is how it works. So you go there, you set up a profile, you stalk other profiles, you receive weird messages, you send messages and don't get a reply. It just doesn't work. And because it doesn't work, we need a new approach. And that is why we want to turn people into matchmakers. So, you know the story, everybody of you knows Angelina and Brad, right? What you don't know is they actually got introduced by Doug Lehman. He was director on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and he was their matchmaker. And yes, we want to enable everyone to meet someone through a common friend. That's why we want to build Haystack. And this is how it looks. Haystack is an iPhone app. It uses the data, Facebook, to create introductions. And how do we do this for the user? So, a user wants to find a date, and he signs up with Haystack. He clicks on connect, he logs in with Facebook. And what we do in the background is we start grabbing the contact data so we can actually start creating profiles of all the friends. And the user, while we do that, he starts inviting his friends, because inviting his friends increases his chance for a date. So he invites friends. As a next step, he decides, do I want a date? Do I want to match people? And in this case, they definitely want a date. And after a while, a friend of theirs who has signed up with the platform, he gets a match proposal. And he's asked, should Brad and Angelina actually date? If he clicks yes, both of them get sent a private recommendation. Hey, Sally thinks you two should go out on a date. Now, we were wondering, does anyone actually care about this? So we started a survey. And by now we have over 180 replies. And these people, we asked them, would you be more likely to go on a date if it was recommended by a friend? And a whooping 87% said yes. And 60% said they would use a platform like Haystack. Now, what's the market for something like this? Alone in Germany, we started in Germany, so we focused on Germany. Alone in Germany, there's 5 million active users of dating platforms. Parship, Match.com. On average, they spend about 30 euros a year, which makes for a market in Germany alone of 115 million euros. Now, we want to start smaller. We want to start local, because critical mass is critical. And that's why we start in Berlin. We target young professionals, 20 to 40, because our survey told us those are the people that are actually in need of such a platform. Now, how do we get these first users? We need to get the first users through PR. We have a brilliant story to tell. Then we need to organize events where we mirrored what we do in real life. And we want to get celebrity endorsements to get first users. And then growth mechanics kick in. Remember? Users, as the second step, invite their friends to get dates. They sign up, and this should lead to virality. Now, you wonder, how can we actually make money with this? We don't know yet. But we see multiple possible avenues how to make money. There's the possibility to get referral fees if you organize a date and send them to a cafe. There is the possibility of upselling, get more date recommendations if they pay. Or we can actually just ask for a membership fee. Now, who are we? We're a team of 4. Martin, Václav, Tim, and myself. And yeah, we met 96 hours ago. We're notorious singles, and we're desperate for this platform, and we're desperate to get every one of you a date. So thank you for your attention. Please like us on Facebook and join a growing community. Thank you.
All right, so join me over here. Considering that your company is younger than 5 days old, I'm guessing you have more questions than our judges, but I'm going to give you the mic and them the floor to ask away.
Please.
So I think it's very impressive. I mean, you really come up with this in 3 days?
Say again, sorry.
You just
four,
came up
4 days.
4 days.
Don't give him
okay.
that much
We started
credit.
on Friday,
okay,
and
well done.
yesterday we had some finale at Microsoft here in Paris, where judges, David among them, yeah.
I just run around from place to place judging. It's like my profession.
That's
You're
all
like,
our dream.
You're like God that way, aren't you?
So I think it's very, very impressive. I can see the need is obvious. I mean, you mentioned that you could relate to it. No funny jokes about that, but I can see how that could work. But so we've looked at quite a few dating plays, and quite a few started on Facebook, but really didn't manage to scale. So it looks like people were quite keen to separate their dating life from their Facebook life, and not necessarily say, "Hey, I want to date." So how can I do that?
So there definitely happens a lot of dating on Facebook, but there might be the reason that people want to separate it. We are a separate app that isn't Facebook. We use Facebook's data, so they can invite their friends, but they don't have to. We think that Facebook provides an incredible opportunity to grow, and it provides an incredible treasure trove of data to match people. Their music taste, their age, their relationship status, their sex, their location. All that we can grab, and we can really build a profile. And then, because we actually let real people validate our recommendations, we can first of all improve them, and second of all, there is a much higher trust if a date comes recommended to someone. So I actually don't know if we need the separation from Facebook psychologically, but the idea that we have in its current form relies on it heavily.
So I think the bus is definitely an interesting way of getting good idea, but why are you the right team to make this idea becoming a reality?
Hi, I'm Václav. I'm the data scientist. I've got a PhD in information engineering from Oxford, and previously I studied at Cambridge computational biology. So I'll be developing the algorithms to propose quality matches between people. And I've also started award-winning students clubs, both at Cambridge and Oxford, which were recognized by the university as an example to others. So I have experience in building communities.
So yeah, hi everyone, my name is Tim. I'm studying law. I've studied in Freiburg, which is in the south of Germany. Then I'm trying to finish my studies in the next month, then the next year in Berlin. And I'll be probably concentrating on marketing, but because I think it's very important to get the first users to use our app, because once we have that, they're going to invite their friends, and so then we have growth, and which is very important for our app, I think.
Hello everybody, my name is Martin Kleinmeier. I'm currently studying international management in Dublin and going to finish in May next year. I've already launched my own company. It's called Karingana, selling leather bags from Mozambique. But it's a small project in which I was able to gain a lot of experience. And on top of that, I was able to do a 6-month internship at Project A Ventures and build up an initial customer service department for 6 countries.
And to complete the round, my background is in business. And for the last 2.5 years, I worked on a startup called Connexio. We tried to solve the address book problem. Unfortunately, we failed. And now I'm looking for the next challenge, and I'm very excited by this opportunity.
So do you guys have any sense of what criteria you're going to use to propose matches? Do you have any... To what extent do you think it may make sense to let people propose it and then use that data to extract what are successful matches, as opposed to trying to intuit what you think will be successful matches and then iterate on that?
So there is 2 approaches that we take. First of all, there is kind of obvious things that people like to do, things they like together. So same music taste, same movie taste. Actually, people like to date people that look similar to them. So we can even use profile pictures if it's not a dog or a baby. What also is possible, we can actually analyze the relationship between real couples, because Facebook also provides us with that. So we can see how these profiles overlap, analyze that, and then use that to make recommendations for people that actually should be dating because they have a similar connection.
And maybe you could have an intervention and tell people who are bad matches that they should break up and date other people, right? This is not going well for you. You need to date Sue.
That would be an evil pivot.
According to our survey which we did, we also got feedback that great concept, I would really love to join it, but currently I'm in a relationship. If I wouldn't in a relationship, I would go for it. So that actually shows also the kind of...
So you have the risk of becoming the unmatchmaker as well. Excellent. Well, gentlemen, for just a few days, you've done something very incredible, and you are indeed on the road to success. Thank you very much for being part of the startup competition. Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Right. So there you have it. There are 17 companies who are vying for their spot on Thursday afternoon stage as part of the LeWeb startup competition. If you missed any of the presentations, you can visit any of these companies in the demo area in the lounge just out on the other side of the curtain. Thank you very much for being part of this today, for encouraging these companies, for being an attentive audience. Thank you, judges, for being part of this experience as well, that we couldn't do it without you. With that, I wish you all a very good afternoon and evening. Enjoy the rest of LeWeb, and thank you again for being part of the competition. Thank you.